Early life and education. Alexander the Great was born in 356 BCE in Pella, the ancient capital of Macedonia. He was the son of the very strong king known as Philip II of Macedon and the famous Olympias. Since early childhood, he had a worthy education, especially by the famous philosopher Aristotle. Such education formed good prerequisites for his future accomplishments and predefined his peculiarities in ruling and military strategies. Coming to power. In 336 BCE, Alexander came to power as the king of Macedonia upon the death of his father, Philip II. He displayed unparalleled decisiveness and military talent by immediately suppressing efforts by some within the kingdom to challenge his authority. He then proceeded to take Macedonia in the direction of once again gaining dominance over Greece as the starting point for further expansion, a precondition for taking new territories. The conquest of the Persian Empire. Alexander resolved to carry out a campaign to subjugate the great power of the Persian Empire, a large and very formidable territory. Throughout this military campaign, he achieved a series of decisive victories in areas such as Asia Minor, Syria, and Egypt. His most noted action, though, was at the Battle of Gaugamela of 331 BCE against last Persian king awaiting him, Darius III, the great king of Persia. Before the age of 25, he had accomplished what even his contemporaries viewed as an impossibility, and his name came to be one of the most brilliant in the history of armies. Expansion and legacy. In the next 8 years, Alexander's conquests took place in 3 continents. He led his army over 11,000 miles of conquest, building over 70 cities. He developed an empire stretching from Greece to northwestern India in a mass of about 2 million square miles. He united his territories through the imposition of Greek language and culture, and yet he adopted so many aspects of local culture that he could not only identify with his diverse subjects, but also rule them. Military leadership and genius. Alexander was famous in the name of history for outstanding figures in military strategy and leadership. A leader who led men from the very front and thereby endangered his life, he was sometimes overconfident in his invincibility, which made him take the wrong decisions. Therefore, although he had many victories, sometimes he placed himself and his troops in danger. He had been a watershed in the ancient world, and his strategic genius earned him the title of one of the greatest generals in history. Death and fragmentation of the empire. The death of Alexander arose from fever that befell him in Babylon back in 323 BCE. The news concerning the death of Alexander further caused the empire to become shrouded in instability and fragmentation. The Diadochi, who were very trusted generals of Alexander, struggled amongst themselves for the control of the vast territory that Alexander had managed to subdue. Despite the fact that he was well able to quickly build his empire through military prowess, the task of consolidating and governing such a huge and diverse realm proved too much. The empire, in the end, got divided between his Diadochi. Cultural and historical impact. Alexander's conquests changed the very face of the regions under his grip. He expanded frontiers for his empire and the diffusion of Greek culture and language over his territories. His cultural diffusion helped to create, in a large sense, a unitary state amidst his sprawling empire and would have a decisive influence over later historical development in the region. The long-lasting breastplate of Alexander remained a symbol of military genius and cultural integration, seen everywhere in mighty currents of history shaping centuries.